We are going to start our next session. And I confess, I love hearing little voices in the background. I have one in the background right now. It's the reality of what we're all dealing with. I never hide it, although I did just tell him to lower his voice. So bring us back into the moment and kick off our Women's Wellness section at 3:30. Thank you, Dawn.
Peace and blessings to everyone. I started off with the greeting of peace for the Muslims. Assalamu alaikum. I started off with peace and blessings to all of my sisters that are part of this Yaniverse, because we are sisters in this Yaniverse. This conversation is on womb wellness, and I am humbled and honored to be your featured panelist for this conversation. Thank you to Mrs. Baraka and her foresight to put on such an amazing event. I've been here since this morning. I did my yoga. I can go on and on about all of the jewels that was dropped on here today. And I am grateful to be a part of this amazing work that each of the women that are on here that are doing. So I lead with my purpose. I believe everything that we do should be full intentioned work, right? My intentions for womb wellness is done with clarity, conviction, and courage, because this work is not something that it's kind of taboo to talk about, right? Like, how often, if you're around me, you're going to talk about your vagina somehow, some way. We're going to have a conversation about what can we do to make our womb happier and healthier. A lot of the therapies that we do speak of with like aromatherapy and audible meditation, we don't often talk about womb wellness in the sense of intentionally working on our wombs. So one of the things that I'm going to go over a few things that I advise women to do when it comes to womb wellness. A lot of the times we hold our stress. From our yoga conversation this morning, we know we hold it all over our bodies. But a lot of us hold it specifically in our womb area, in our stomachs, and in the bottom portion of our lower abdomen. And to relieve that stress, not too many things are geared towards relieving the stress and the frustration that builds up there. So with this intentional work of womb wellness, we look at ways to detox our wombs. We detox our livers, we detox our kidneys, we do colon detoxes. The womb detox is a little more intentional. Yes, the vagina cleans itself, it does. However, it doesn't detox itself, right? A part of our administration, there's doctors that can tell you all of the amazing things that goes on with that aspect. However, when it comes to steaming, which is what I'll be speaking about specifically, the herbs that are used, they have a purpose, right? Like, God gave us some amazing things in this earth. He gave us crystals, he gave us salts, he gave us herbs, he gave us flowers. How we use them really do matter. And we haven't been taught to use them at all. As a matter of fact, what have we been taught about our periods? If you get a group of women together and you ask how many of you suffer from harsh PMS cramps, how many of us suffer from prolapse wombs, how many of us suffer from fibroids, how many of us had to have hysterectomies, the numbers are extremely high when you're dealing with women of color. And I know for myself, I'm trying to break the generational curses that was put on us, right? We didn't have conversations. Well, my mother did, because she's just a different kind of mama. But my friends would come to my mother for those conversations on what is it to expect with our periods and with ovulation and all of those things, right? So the more I started studying and reading and understanding, like, this isn't normal. Having periods 7, 8, 9, 10 days, that's not normal. What does normal look like, right? So steaming is a practice. it's definitely a part of my care, right? Long bubble baths, some women do nails, some women get their hair done. Mine is definitely womb wellness. So some of the herbs that I use for specific themes, they're very, very intentional herbs, right? So I have behind me, see my little my little space. A lot of the a lot of the herbs that we use are to relieve certain ailments. So if you believe that your herb faith is a very huge aspect in womb wellness for me, like it's a balance between religion, spirituality, and science, because all three of those work very well together with, you know, room for interpretation to your understanding, right? Like I can't tell anybody who's right, wrong, or indifferent for any of those three that they have an understanding of, right? My computer got dark on me. Nope, I got it. Thank you, assistant. I have my assistant here with me. So I used for a while one of these. Does everybody know what these are? This is a fondue pot. Nothing too spectacular, nothing too hard. It's a fondue pot. You have this, and you can set your temperature, right? Like that is the easiest way of doing it. I know women who do their steams in the toilet. The only reason I don't do it in the toilet is because the water get cold fast, right? You want to continuously, if you want to stay on there for 10 minutes or 25 minutes, you want to be able to control the temperature of your steam and your herbs. I'm going to go through the herbs, just give me a second. Recently, I bought this. This is the Magic V Steam Vaginal Spa, and it also has temperature and time. It's very convenient, very simple, very practical. Inside of here, that's how much herbs you'll use for here, like just the diameter of inside of the pot, right? Now, when I'm dealing with a specific person, let's say I have a young lady who just got out of a toxic relationship. Energy exchange is real, and we've talked about energy exchange throughout the conversations today. Every relationship we've been in, unless you're a virgin, you leave a little piece of that energy inside of you. So for someone who comes to me and say, Dawn, I'm trying to release energy from prior relationships, there's herbs that are specific for that. We burn sage. There's also a sage that you can use for yoni steams. With the Magic V Steam, hers come with a little package of herbs. And inside of hers, there's rosemary, mugwort, Egyptian basil, wormwood, rose petals. I use lavender and mugwort for everything. Lavender is one of the most peaceful herbs that you can come across. It helps with everything, sisters. I'm talking about, it is anti-cancer, it is antidepressant, it's an antifungal. It just has so many different properties, and it's such a beautiful flower, right? Lavender. Another way of detoxing your womb, there's teas that look like this, like womb blends. You pick out the herbs that best fit your desired results, right? When we look up the healing properties of certain herbs, it's like they really kept some amazing things from us that, since we were stolen off the shores of Africa, we really have to get back into them, back to the basics of our very existence. So one of the questions that was posed to me was, many women have struggles getting pregnant. What are some things to prepare their body for childbirth? When I started going onto this journey, I took meat out of my diet. Not that I'm a vegetarian, not that I'm a vegan, not that I'm a pescatarian. I just wanted to see the results of my body. Like, what would happen if I take out meat? What would happen if I take out herbs? I mean, what would happen if I take out dairy? So upon my studying, mucus that builds up on our body parts, they are causing more damage, right? So when mucus goes into our chest, we get pneumonia. When it goes onto our womb and our uterus, you fibroids. One of the things that I've learned These things right here, they're called Detox Pearls. They're this big. I wonder if you guys can see them. They're this big. They go in for 2 days. They stay in for, they go in on, let's say, a Monday. You take them out on a Wednesday. Drink water throughout that entire process. No sexual intercourse. Take them out. What comes out of your body will amaze you. I'm very conscious on paying attention to what comes out of my body. I have 3 daughters, so I want them to understand that it's your womb, nobody else's. It belongs to you, and how you take care of it is yours. It's yours. You're responsible for it. And before you're even willing to share it with anyone, you have to understand it, appreciate it, and do what's best for it. So one of the other things, so with the pearls, at the end of that 4th day, you don't pull it out. You just let whatever it is come out. So I've witnessed, because people send me their pictures of what come out, to see the layer of mucus or the layer of things that come out is just like, if this is building up on our wombs, the doctors don't tell you what's wrong. They just tell you need a hysterectomy. It puts us in a really confused space. So that's the herbs for the pearls. That's the womb blend for the detoxes with teas. And anything that you steam your yoni with, you can drink. That's how herbs work, right? Like, you don't want to put anything in your body that you can't put inside of your body. That's lotion, soaps, and all the rest of that. Like, if you can't, your skin is your biggest organ. So you would want to be able to put whatever inside of your body through your mouth, through your vagina. So I have both. I have a cup of tea while I'm sitting on the pot. So location. My baby had did her own little video last night, so I said I'm going to mention it. You want to create a space of comfort for yourself, right? You want to be in a relaxed, tranquil space, the same way you do when you're doing yoga, the same way that you do when you're meditating or when you're praying. You want this space to be authentically yours. You want to own it. You want to burn whatever energy neutralizer, whether it's sage, whether it's Palo Santo, whatever it is. It smells good. It's like, it has like an earthy wood smell, or you can get sage from everywhere. Sage, I will pull it out in a heartbeat. Anybody who knows me knows that is a fact. I will pull it out and burn it anywhere. Also, if you're suffering from fibroids, there's a fibroid mix that you can get with herbs, right? And the teas help dissolve whatever the fibroid is, whatever mucus matter is built up on your uterus or on your fallopian tubes or wherever the fibroids land. It helps dissolve it, in addition to changing your eating habits and putting other things in place. So detoxing your womb is definitely the first step into preparing to have a baby. Why these things are important? Well, it detoxes your womb, it cleans your womb, it regulates your menses, it decreases menstruation pain, it gives you a sense of calm in your womb, which I absolutely love. Like, if I'm not in the best space, I will definitely woosah and be in tune with, like, I can't hold on to this. I have too much to offer that's positive, so I can't hold on to it there. Another one, your vagina needs attention too. When I start womb wellness, I tell people to chart it, right? So me and a couple of my co-workers who are sisters to me as well, was talking about when to start things. I start on either a full moon or a new moon, and it's based on a lunar calendar, not the Jordanian calendar, from the 1st to the 30th. This way I can actually track it according to the moon. What happens to the ocean when it's a full moon? The waves are stronger, the currents are stronger. Our emotions are heightened during our menses, and if you're aligned with the full moon, it just makes it such a spiritual exchange for yourself, right? It aligns. That's why a lot of the herbs that are advertised, such as this one, moon therapy, to align it with that purposefully. What else? And our diets are everything to do with our vaginal health. It is. Our diet is so crucial. And I don't think like when we're discussing the importance of the things that we eat, we are not given like a full context of healthy and unhealthy in today's food industry, right? It's bare minimal is considered healthy. When we're trying to detox our wombs, you have to be extremely intentional on what to eat, what to drink, knowing that these things help. Okra are amazing vegetables to help lubricate the womb and keep it clean and keep it kind of like a detergent, I want to say. And I don't go on a tangent by myself. I am a follower of several womb wellness women and men based on African American or African descendants of Africa ideology. So one just returned to the ancestors, Dr. Layla Africa. I would advise you to get his books, Nutricide, and he goes into details on what we should be doing for our own bodies, right? Like not based on Western medicine, but based on what works for the Africans. Yeah, another book, African Holistic Health. Very, very meaty book. It is not just a book to read. It is definitely one to scale through, pencil through, mark up. And Queen Afua. I had the pleasure of meeting Queen Afua at a very young age with the International Black Women's Congress, which that I'm a part of. And the work that she does is very intentional for women, for Black women specifically. And follow her on Instagram. So this is my favorite book, right? It's all tattered. And yes, it has a makeshift cover on it. Because imagine me walking around with Overcoming an Angry Vagina book. I don't want people judging me. Honestly, I don't care, but I don't want, the reception. This book is amazing. I believe she recently redid the cover or the title of the book. So if you're looking for it, it may be under a different title now. But she goes into so many details on womb wellness and what it means for us to really be intentional in fixing our wombs. Another one of her books is Heal Thyself for Health and Longevity, which is another really, really good one. Again, like you just dive in, it talks about the different herbs and the different things that the herbs are encouraging your body to do. So if your body isn't contaminated with things that it can't process, the herbs is like they're preventative work. They're not like, I guess, Western medicine where it's like fix it now. So the same way that we believe in blood pressure medicine, we have to believe in the power of herbs and what God gave them to us for. Another book that I read through for this type of purposeful work is Natural Medicines and Cures Your Doctor Never Tell You About, as well as Natural and Medicines and Cures, the one behind me. These books have really given me clarity on what we should be doing to really overcome angry vaginas, because a lot of times we shy away from women and we shy away from each other with our energy because it may be tainted based on things that we're dealing with. We're dealing with stress. We're dealing with frustration. We're dealing with raising kids. We're dealing with husbands. We're dealing with boyfriends. We're dealing with a lot. So the sisters, SISTAR, and yes, I spell it like that on purpose, is a part of a unique thing. Either you have a womb or you don't. And if you don't, you're missing out. Because if you do, we have an amazing journey that God gave us, a very purposeful journey, a very amazing one. And I definitely advise women to do things to help increase our love for one another. And the one thing we have in common, it may not be social class, it may not be education, it may not be whether you have a child or not. What we do have in common is this womb that's within us that we have to be and aligned with, so that we can help create whatever peace we need in our community, but peace begins with us. And our wombs definitely need our attention and love. One more thing I wanted to mention before I take questions is, so I'm very particular about what goes up there. And, herbs do Kegels. If you have children and you sneeze and a little pee come out, they say do Kegels, right? So we can do this all day, right? That don't mean you're gonna get muscle. This is a Yanni egg, very small. This is a medium one. My daughter said I have to do like this so you can see it. This is a small one. Size difference, right? And then there's a larger one. And all it is a weight inside of your vagina to help build the muscles with doing Kegels, right? Back in the day, they used to use Benoit balls, and before that, there are different things that I just don't want plastic in there. So the crystals, again, are gifts from God. We just have to learn how to use them and learn which each crystal mean and what best fits your persona and your demeanor and you, right? Because it's all about you as an individual. My personal favorite is the opal, and it's because it's also my birthstone. See my opal earring, and it relieves pain and PMS and stress. Another favorite that I see a lot of women wearing is the pink, the rose quartz, which is self-love. It gives off unconditional love. It gives off forgiveness. And in today's time, if we didn't learn anything else from COVID, is forgiveness and peace with each other. The green one is a winning energy and wealth. So yeah, you stick that right on in there that way. And yes, they do pop out, which why my daughter was like, I lay eggs. Right before menses come, your body will release the egg because it has done its purpose. Let's see, it is some chatty going on there, and I haven't looked inside of there, and I do apologize. Natural medicines and cures. Oh, thank you, Andrea, for taking the notes for me and putting them inside of the Zoom chat. So the same way I feel.
It appears that a lot of people are very, very grateful for all of the information that you're sharing. And there's a question about your background, like how'd you get into this?
Well, I was a late menser, 17, and when I got it, it was absolutely horrible. And I started doing research on my family and the lineage of my family, and I've gone back further enough to know that I am of the Blackfoot Indians of Yamasee, and that is a tribe of healers. So my grandmother was doing things to us that we didn't even understand. So me wanting to understand it, me wanting to know more about it, and like I said, I have 3 daughters, and I don't want them to rely on Western medicine for their interpretation of what should and shouldn't be happening, considering some of the things that were stolen from us when we were stolen is making a huge comeback. So that is, this little girl gonna leave me alone. She's distracting me. So yes, that is where I got into it at, and there's classes that I take to make sure that I'm not mixing the wrong herbs, that I'm making sure that the herbs are aligned with one another, that they're not going to cause a vaginal catastrophe. So yes, any other questions?
Right, so with that being said, is there, do you have a special name for what you do? Is there a name for that profession, so to speak?
A vagina expert. No, okay.
Well, I'll let you think on it. By the end of the question, maybe you'll come up with a nickname. So there was another question about is the cleansing recommended during premenstrual cycle or during menopause?
So with menopause, there are herbs that are specifically catering to the effects of menopause. So yes, you can steam during menopause, not during your menses. If you can set up a great time frame, like if you know when your menses is coming, I would say do a detox prior to. So once that section of detoxing happens, then the period happens, and happy vagina, here she is. It helps with lubrication. It's like, wow, they really kept some awesome stuff from us.
There's quite a few questions about where to find the information or some of the items that you've mentioned.
Okay, so let's see.
Books, the detox, the womb blend. Where should folks go to find that stuff?
So I went to Source of Knowledge University from about 15 up until I left for the military. I read books from all types of scholars when it comes to our bodies and our community, where we come from, as far as ancient Kemet, the different tribes from Accra. So anywho, I say all I to say this: the vaginal steam spa, you can look them up. I actually saw it online, and I was in the middle of an intense conversation, a kind of like, not a debate, but a heated conversation with another woman who was skeptical about it, or not even skeptical, because even skeptics can be convinced. She was just like, your vagina don't need that. I'm like, that's because your vagina never had that. Try it, and then let's have this conversation. So hers is Magic Bee Steam Vaginal Spa. That was the nifty pink. Now, that is not for anyone over the weight of, I think hers is 220. When I offer the service, there is another chair that I use for my voluptuous sisters. You can get any herb that I've described from any health food store. Specifically, the one I use is either the one in Newark on South Orange Avenue, or the one that hopefully will be reopening downtown Newark, where both of them, I know that their herbs aren't contaminated with pesticides, and they are decently priced. The thing with ordering stuff online is really rush and roulette when you don't want to play rush and roulette with your vagina.
So it does appear that it is 3:58. You've totally given a wealth of knowledge. I'm just reading through all of the chat, and everybody's truly grateful. Do you want to just do some final words? Any encouragement? More stuff about womb health? Just summing it all up. Did you consider a title, a nifty title?
Can I jump in to help you with
Yoni birth specialist? Yoni birth specialist. I think I can rock with that. I do have a company based out of it. It's called Fard. Fard is the obligation. That's what it means in Arabic. So it is my obligation to give information. If I have it, it's not mine to keep. And there's an African proverb that when an elder dies, it's like a library burnt down. I don't want to harbor information. If I have it, it's for everybody to get. If you need the service and you trust that I will perform it to the best of my abilities, you are more than free to inbox me, and from what I just learned from the Sisters the Boss segment, I'll figure out how to package it and brand it properly. But I am a phone call away, or a text message away, an email away. And we're all that we have. And once a nation can rise no higher than its woman. So as the women of our community, it is up to us to be the most amazing people we can be to each other, so that we can help raise these children and lead our men to be better leaders. I thank Madam Baraka for all of her amazing thought, Miss Aisha Glover, Alexis Trusty, you, Andrea. Our circle of sisterhood that we're blessed to be with under Mayor Baraka's administration is like, I pray for you guys all the time, because we are really blessed to have each other. And yeah, I'm here.
Thanks, Dawn. That was insanely needed. It was amazing. It was like no other I've ever heard before. So I personally thank you too. So without further ado, we are going to transition into the next workshop, which is New Normal Girl Talk, or do we have time for a commercial break?
I think we could do a very brief commercial break. Thank you. That was amazing. One thing I do want to flag that's coming up in the comments, and I want to underscore, emphasize it. Yes, please support source of knowledge, shop local. Don't try to run off and do all of this on your own. Dawn just gave you a bit of a teaser. It's worth studying and learning and just bringing yourself closer to the knowledge. So, thank you again, Dawn. Always inspiring, sis.